Mic'd up.
Oh, where'd the song go? It skipped. We got a vamp.
We
got
are
a
so
vamp.
professional.
That's a
We are
That's a
good.
good start.
We are
People-
good.
People are gone and it all falls apart.
There
The hell?
Hi, everybody. Welcome. There we go.
it is.
From Lowlifes.
I mean, that was a really nice bluesy jam I was going to play, but this is better.
From Lowlifes.
I would concur.
Yeah. So, welcome to Highlights from Lowlifes, episode 49. And as you can see, we've really tightened things up over the last 48 episodes leading to tonight. We've really got this dialed in now.
Well practiced is.
Yeah.
Backbone.
It's a good thing we almost get paid. Anyway, welcome back to Highlights from Low Lifes. As you know, we're a bunch of guys that play ball together, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. We mic'd up, thought we were funny, and gave us a show. That's the long and short of it. So tonight's topic
And they're
is
still
kind of a-
regretting that decision.
yeah.
Right.
Tonight's topic is kind of a follow up to last week's topic, where we discussed the top 5 villains in baseball movies. We got a lot of positive feedback on the show. People really seem to like the topic. So we thought, why not milk this cow for everything it's got? So
Amen.
we said, let's do top 5 villains in sports movies that aren't baseball because we are clever like that. So here we are.
Well, there's just
I
a
don't know
lot
about you guys.
There's a
I
lot
got
of villains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some movies that have 5 or 6 to choose from.
Yeah.
But I got a bunch. Looks like we got a bunch of calls tonight. And by the way, if you are watching
great.
live, down at the bottom, hit that microphone button and you can leave us a message and interact with us. Tell us your top 5 sports movie villains. Give us a call on what you're drinking, whatever you want to do. Even you can call in and swear at Marty for wearing that tie again.
It was a gift.
I
It was a
dare
gift.
you to call in and leave your favorite villains from a movie.
So, guys that are usually with us, Jeff Jones is off dealing with some family stuff, so hopefully we'll see him back next week. And Rob Weber is on assignment down in San Diego at the Padres game. We have asked Rob to come up with the top 5 ugliest Padre uniforms of all time, which is a thankless task because pretty much all of them are ugly as hell. So,
Yeah, how do you rank those?
yeah, that's this. I'll be interested to see what he comes back with. But anyway, I think we're probably ready to start our topic, which is going to be fun. So, Marty, you look like you're champing at the bit, as they say.
Is that champion or chomping?
Well, I don't know. I'm
I
hoping he's.
am.
I'm hoping
Okay.
his villain is from a horse racing movie.
Oh shoot! I have to change. Wait a minute. I have to change notes. Hold on. 1 second. But my first villain. When it's fun to talk about villains because and I got this guy really got under my craw because he wasn't just the opponent of the hero of the film. This guy was a real pain in, and I got to watch myself because I got censored last time we started getting on these hate things. We are good at this. We are good.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that he's the one with the SAG card.
Wow, man. Oh no.
And my villain is so obscure, but he was so diabolical. I'm just going to give you his name and see what we got a response. The character, Bartholomew. Okay, that's what I thought. He was the evil person in charge trying to remove our hero, Jonathan E., from the league. Anybody yet? Of course, if you're under 40 years old, you probably don't remember the movie Rollerball with James Caan.
Oh, golly.
And John Houseman was the guy who was in charge. We weren't quite sure if he was in charge of the state or was in charge of the league because they changed the rules every week just to get Jonathan E out, but he would overcome. And if you remember, rollerball was it was an interesting sport because like a statistic like offsides or strikeouts or walks in the rollerball game, deaths
Right.
was a statistic. And he tried to just change the game, and there was no limit, and then there was overtime, and then just to get Jonathan E. And he never did. John Houseman was the character. If you ever again, I'm an old man. I'm a little older, but he was in that Paper Chase movie. He was
Yep.
the mean professor where the kids trying to get their law degrees. He played it very well. His name was again Bartholomew. So that's my number five.
Man, I have not seen that movie in a long time. That was fun. Now I got to watch it again.
You're talking a rollerball?
Yep.
Rollerball.
Yeah,
Rollerball.
James
the
Caan.
original.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
been a remake recently,
Yeah.
but I wonder if the story's similar, where there's a bad guy, of course.
Oh, there has to be. How can you, yeah, there's got to be. Yeah. Hey, what's your number five there, Terry?
Well, my number five is from a film from 1974.
And I thought I was an old man.
The Longest Yard. Warden Hazen.
Oh yeah.
He's the warden who handpicked his his uh, 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 pri- uh,
Prison guards.
prison guard team to play against the prisoners, and they wanted to beat the heck out of them. That's the only way they could get back at him, but they lost the game.
Yep.
But it was the great halftime. It was the shower scene where Hazen takes our hero and puts him in the shower and says, "If you don't throw the game, I'm going to
Yeah,
keep you here for a long, long time." He was
good.
yeah, he was a terrible guy. He was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yep. Yep. Good pick.
Robbie, how about you?
There's so many to choose from.
There's a huge list to pick from.
But I'm gonna start with I'm maybe pushing the boundaries a little bit on whether it really is a sports film or not. But if you watch highlights from Lowlifes, you'd be hard pressed to convince me that Beer Fest is not a sports movie. And if we're talking about Beer Fest, I mean there is no bigger villain than Baron Wolfgang von Wolfhausen, the captain of the German team. Now, to be fair, the Americans are upstart and shouldn't think they can walk in and just win this beer fest without any practice and anything like that. And the Germans are a well-oiled machine, well oiled. But there comes a point when the respect should be shared, and it's not there. And Wolfgang von Wolfhausen is a pretty nasty guy, so I'm going with him for my number five.
That's a great call. And the
Thank
thing
you.
you have to remember, and it's a valid point. I don't know if you've ever done the boot before, but you have to just
Oh,
turn the boot when it gets
turn
down
the
to
boot. Yep.
when it gets
That's
down
right.
to that bubble point before you're at it. It's a very, very, very valuable life lesson for you youngsters that are watching us this evening.
That's right. Don't get splashed by the toe of the boot.
Yeah. Give them the boot has a whole different meaning.
Well, to
All
put
right.
it
Well,
put it in equal terms, it's like when you get to the bottom of your Slurpee, and then you start shaking it down, and the whole 3 inches on the bottom, hits you in the face. That's like getting hit with a beer boot.
All right, since we're going down there, let's really go down the rabbit hole.
all right.
Years and years ago, Jeff Jones, Tony Hensley, and I would go to the Spiders games in San Francisco. The Spiders was a minor league hockey team.
Yeah.
They played at the Cow Palace, and there was a bar down the street, and they had one boot. So we all took turns at drinking that boot, and I think I'm going to throw him out there, and I'm gonna chastise him. But I think Tony Hensley never did finish his boot. Let him
Oh,
reply. Come on, Tony. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on.
Wow.
Wow, Tony.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So I
think
may be in trouble, but
I think you need Tony, you need to hit that little red microphone on the bottom and save your reputation.
All right. Well, that's a good round. Before we get too far off track, let's move on to round four because with just three of us, we could spiral out of control wildly at any moment, and that's just not good for anybody out there. So Terry, why don't you start us off on round four?
Round number 4 of the top 5 villains in sports movie non-baseball. My number 4 is uh, there's the film in 1984 and the third episode in 1989. It is the sensei from The Karate Kid. And his name is
Oh
John
yeah.
Kreese.
Yep.
Just to remind you, his quote, sweep the leg.
oh.
You know who that is. As soon as
Oh
you know,
yeah.
as soon as
Yep.
you hear that, it's oh, that guy was dirty. That was the sensei. Sweep the leg, and then the kid goes, "Did you hear me right? Yes, sensei." Oh, he was dirty.
I always like
Uh,
the one kid that yells in the background, "Get him a body bag."
Marty,
um,
number 4.
number four. Help me with the name because I pulled it up and it was a couple of different spellings, but um, I'm going to go with the actor first because I just cherish the actor. He was just did so many great things on so many. He was on TV. He was in the movies. Ted Knight was the actor.
Oh, Judge
It,
Smales.
Smales. Okay, because I
Yeah.
had Smalls, I had Snails. It's Smales. Okay,
Smales. Yep.
Judge Smales. All right. Yeah. And his first name is Ilu or is I mean it was just an awful name. But
Yeah.
Ted
No,
the one straight person in the movie, and I said straight because you believe this guy was on the course, a member of the country club. He just played it straight. All the other characters were going bonkers and doing great things, but he was the one guy you could almost say that. Yeah, I was at this country club, and he was the guy, or this guy was just being the straight and narrow rules master. He was the judge. But in a crazy film like that, he did it so well. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I
well,
that's
that was
that
his
he was great on
character.
Mary Tyler Moore, but Ted Knight was
yeah.
born to play Judge Smales in Caddyshack. I mean, unbelievably good.
You know where I saw? We're gonna go down a rabbit hole again, but I saw him on the old Turner Classic Movies. He was in, I'm gonna test. He was in Psycho.
No way.
He was at the
Really?
very end where they catch the villain and they're gonna put him in jail, and he asks the bad guy asks for a blanket, and the guard carrying the blanket down the hall and giving it to him was a cameo appearance by a very young Ted Knight.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. So again, and he had a SAG card. Robbie, bring us home for round four.
All right, boy. Again, there's so many to choose from, but I think I'm going to go with David Sims.
Oh, okay.
David Sims, the golfer played by Don Johnson, the country club elite golfer, always putting on a smile on for the crowd, but really hating the people in the like. What's the line? He hates children and old people, um, which kind of we all qualify as both. So yeah, he was just that country club elitist snob, bad guy, conservative, playing it safe golfer, content to, finish top 10 or 15 every week, not worried about winning. Whereas the protagonist, Roy Tin Cup, was going for glory on that hole. And I think that's one of the best comeuppances that he gets at the end of the movie, Don Johnson, like nobody's going to remember you won the tournament. They're going to remember Tin Cup's 18 on the final hole, which is great. So yeah, he was just. I think Don Johnson probably fits the profile in real life too. So it was. He was a bit of a
Yeah,
jackass,
he's
and
kind of
Yeah,
kind of
it
smug.
kind of, sort of.
played too easy. So there you go. David Sims played by Don Johnson in Tin Cup. That's my number
Yeah,
four.
there you go.
That's good.
So, well, that
Hey, what are you drinking?
what you drinking? That's right. That's our my favorite time of the show. We are the highlights from Low Lives are fortunate enough to be sponsored by Almanac Brewing out of Alameda, California. Almanac has been with us for 48 shows, and uh,
Why?
I
Wow.
know
Why?
that's what I'm thinking. 49 shows, yeah, whatever number this is, they've been with us the whole time. They must think something's good about it. So uh, perfect. Yeah, I am tonight. I dug into the back of the fridge and I
Oh,
found I still have some Porch Light Lager.
Wow.
I
So
hate you because that's not available anymore.
it's no, they moved on to that Buenos Vibras Mexican lager, which is
Oh,
also
that is
delicious, by the
really
way.
good. That's
But the
really good.
Porch Light, I really
You're
enjoyed.
raining on my parade.
Yes, well, try you say what I say in Spanish. Like a moth to a light, I'm drawn
Uh,
to this beer.
okay. I'll do,
it's bueno.
bueno.
I think
Buenos
it's como
vi.
una pelea a la luz me trae esta cerveza.
Why, you're so smart, aren't you? Head of the class. Teacher's pet. Can I talk now? Because
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
have a beer I want to talk
Yeah,
about. Can
what
I?
are you
Can I?
drinking?
I don't know. Oh, Vivas Beaver. Buenos Vivas. Uh, Another winner. The almanac keeps coming up with great varieties of fine light beers, and as I don't mean it as a light beer. It's a pilsner. It's a great summer beer. I think they're turned a little more monetary, as I'm trying to say, is they make this so nice and refreshing on hot days like today. You
Rob,
look down and the 4 pack is gone, and you
Rob,
got to go back to the store again.
what is he
But
trying to say?
wait till I get, wait till Lodi. I'll get you.
Yeah.
Yada.
Wait till Lodi. I'll get you. But
Oh.
crisp, refreshing, a beautiful summer beer. Thank you, Almanac. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Let me tell you about my beer in my Rocky Philadelphia koozie.
So you're saying it's kind of a half endorsement?
Well, no, a good friend of mine gave me this little Rocky koozie from Philadelphia.
From Philadelphia, from the trip.
You've been to Philadelphia?
Yeah, have we discussed our trip? Was I part of that? Anyway, we had a really good time in Philadelphia. Went and saw a bunch of sights, but I'm drinking the Almanac Flow. Look at
That's a
I
good
still
beer.
have some.
Keeping it in the flow.
It
Yep.
is tropical aromas of ripe melon, fresh berries, and refreshing citrus. Just delicious.
Good
Yeah,
pick.
right. Yeah, right off the back of the can. Nice job.
And we have a what you drinking from a caller.
I can read.
Great.
JC.
Nice.
What you drinking? Why, of course, a seaside West Coast pale ale. I'm not normally a pale ale drinker, but this stuff is perfect for 106 degrees in Stockton, California for the Banner Island game tonight. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Hope,
JC.
hope you're getting a
Thanks,
tan.
JC. Yeah. Think cool. Think cool.
All right. Well, once again, we want to thank Almanac. They are, again, one of the leading producers of craft beer in the United States. They have a great selection of sour beers, they have a great selection of IPAs. And as Marty pointed out, they're doing amazing things with these crushable, drinkable beers like the lagers and pilsners. So if you happen to be in Alameda, California, I highly recommend you stop by and visit. They're a very welcoming group. Tell them you heard about them from the highlights from Lowlife Show, and they may take pity upon you. I love doing that part.
Their brewery is really nice over there with the
yeah,
outdoor picnic tables and
yeah,
snacks next door.
beautiful tap room. And I was there. It's been a few months ago, but I said, yeah, you guys sponsor us. I'm on the Highlights with Lowlifes podcast, and the response was,
Really? Good for you.
They the cool thing about them is there's a gosh, now we're doing the shameless almanac plug, but right next door is a company called Admiral Maltings that does all the malting of the barley that comes in
Oh, I
for
didn't
a
know that.
bunch of breweries around the Bay
Wow.
Area.
Well,
And
that's fresh.
Almanac is one of the ones that uses them because of convenience, obviously, but they're a super high end malter. So you can actually go in there and they have beers on tap from all the different breweries that they sell their malts to. But you can watch the malting process actually taking place, watching them stir the malts and everything as you sit there at the bar looking right through the window at that going on. So it's literally right next door. So
It's an
it's
Ooh,
education.
great. It's a great way to spend the afternoon is a
ooh,
tour and
field
tasting
trip,
it out at Almanac and then Admiral Maltings.
field trip.
Field trip. Yeah, hey, we are still working on doing a live remote from there. So at some point or another, you're going to see us at the bar, at the brewery, doing our thing. So stick around for that. All right. We probably should get back on track. I guess I'll start off this round.
All right.
I got one from a hockey movie, a lesser known hockey movie, but Goon would be my
Oh.
choice. And Ross the Boss Ray, who has been a longtime Goon. And actually, one of my favorite things about this villain, out of all the villains I have on my list tonight, almost all of them, they're pompous, they're aloof, they're self centered, everything you normally get in a villain. This guy was kind of a professional goon. Like it was never personal. He respected other players. He simply did his job. He wasn't trying to hurt people per se. It wasn't, wasn't really anything like that. Even he and his young protege that's coming up, the star of Goon, who's becoming a goon in the league. They have a really nice dinner, and they sit there together and enjoy their dinner and exchange pleasantries during the evening. And then, of course, at the end of dinner, he goes, "Hey, seem like a good guy, but if there ever comes a time when it comes down to the marrow and it's you and me out there, I will lay you the fudge out."
I was gonna say, did he check him into the bar?
Yeah. So he's like the cool assassin, professional. That's his job. He knows it. Everybody knows it, and he's going to do it. And none of the arrogance and the stuff you normally see in the villain. This is just this cold-hearted. He able to separate life from the ice and does it super
So
effectively.
this movie is it
Goon,
the
the
Goon?
movie Goon.
The Goon,
Goon.
just
Yeah.
Goon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And is it about him?
the movie is about another kid coming up that is going to be a goon and is
Ah,
working on being a goon in the same league. This is a guy that's in his final year retiring, who has been a goon for his whole career.
Yeah.
I like
So
Goons, man. Those
yeah,
enforcers are
It's an
awesome.
obscure film, but yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, it's an acquired taste, but I really like the villain just because he's so different than the other villains. So
My two favorite hockey pro hockey players have the most penalty minutes of any players.
McSorley and
Tiger Williams
yeah,
from the Kings, L.A. Kings back in the '80s. They played 5-on-4 a lot, a lot. Yeah, it
well, then
was.
why don't you take this next one, Terry?
Go.
Since you're
Yeah.
rolling.
Well, okay. This is from a film in 2009. It's a football movie. It's about Michael Orr, right? Michael Orr.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
called The Blind Side, and the
Right.
the villain here was the social worker. She started asking him questions about if the parents are encouraging him, highly encouraging him to go to a certain college, and then he kind of feels the pressure and
Bolts.
he
Yeah.
runs out, and then he questions it. are you guys trying to make me go to this school? And they're like, no, we want you to choose the school you want to. I mean, I went there. Your stepfather went there. Your your stepsister goes there. You might want to go there. And the little kid, the little boy, and he was a little character.
Yeah.
He's gonna go there too. All right, The
What
Blind
what
Side,
what what I what I loved
2009.
about that was the tutor, the
Oh,
classic actress.
yeah.
Ah,
Sandra
Uh,
Bullock.
no,
Sandra. No, no,
no.
no. The tutor. The
Oh, the tutor.
it says you were thinking of going to the Tennessee, and they have
She was
their
also
grave
in.
people
She was
they
encouraging
bury
it
under the
also.
field and all that
The
kind of.
Blind Side.
I mean, she was Kathy
Uh,
Bates.
That's
exactly.
it.
I
Yeah,
had it. I just pulled it up. Kathy Bates.
yeah. That one line where
Sandra Bullock was the mom.
yeah, she was just giving the hero all this crap about Tennessee and all this kind of that. I thought, oh my God, that's pretty terrible. Anyway, all right, my
Mike.
number three was he was from somewhere else, and he brought terror into the eyes of our hero, who had to train extra hard and fight against all odds because Ivan Drago was such an ominous menace. And he had to go into Russia to fight Ivan Drago. He set records. He broke machines. He was the ultimate fighting machine. But the best part of the movie was his girlfriend, who I forget the name of the actress, but she was hot. I mean,
Oh, the
who
blonde
was the
girl.
actress?
Stallone married her for a while, I think.
Did he? Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I must break you.
I will break you.
You stole my line. That was nice right here. Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
I must break you.
I must break you.
I must break you.
I
But
mean, yeah. I mean, he killed Apollo Creed, right? I mean, of course.
Oh
That's
oh
a
yeah,
right,
bad guy.
yeah, yeah.
he
I
is
mean,
the
come
man
on.
who killed Apollo Creed.
That's right.
Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago,
Ivan.
Dolph Lundgren, and I think he
Yeah,
did a
Dolph.
couple other movies after that, but that was it. He never did anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his one and done. But I'm sure he still lives very well off the royalties. So, but anyway.
Oh, really? A Rocky film? You think they play that often? How many Rocky-a-thons are there a year? It's like once a month you'll see a Rocky-a-thon. And one of the cable shows is
Well, that's because there's too many cable channels. We got to put some dumb
that's
thing
true.
on there.
That's true. Yeah, that was Rocky 4, 1985. That was I had that one down too. The
Oh,
man
I'm
who
sorry.
killed.
Okay.
Yeah, the
all
man
right.
who killed Apollo. Oh no, I have many. This is an
All right.
pretty
Okay.
easy
All
category.
right.
I guess we're making the
But
turn to round two then. Right?
we're already in the round two. I mean, it's going sharp. Terry, what's round two?
Well, round 2 is a racing film. Actually, it's a racing television show from 1960.
1960?
I know where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy my beer while Terry goes to his happy place.
He drove the Mach 5.
Oh! All
Speed
right, this is
Racer's enemy and antagonist is Snake Oiler.
Snake Oiler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Folks,
This may
take a while.
He was part of the car acrobatic team, or the car acrobats. The Snake Oiler appeared in both manga and anime. So he's one of the original bad guy characters, or villains, so to speak. And that's my number 2, The
Well,
snake
and he was
oil.
mean to Spritel and Chim Chim.
He's mean to Spritle and Chim Chim. Yeah, how could you be mean to Spritle and Chim Chim? That's a villain.
What's a chim chim?
Oh, that's his pet monkey.
Oh, it was a monkey. Okay.
Yeah. Robbie?
Okay. Yeah, I've got okay. Number two, this guy, another non-traditional sports movie. However, it ends in a climactic athletic scene at a competition. Um, Playing, as I noted earlier, the reason I like Big Boss Ray is the same reason that he was the opposite of this guy, and this guy is the arrogant, always angry, always pissed off, always trying to take people down. Anybody that isn't in his circle of friends is somebody that he wants to just destroy, and that is Chaz Osborne, and his name is Chaz, so that should piss you off right there.
Yeah,
But Chaz Osborne tries to beat Rodney Dangerfield in the diving
that's
competition
right.
in Back to School.
That's right.
So he's a complete douche the entire movie. And then, of course, Rodney pulls out the triple Lindy to win the collegiate diving competition and embarrass and
And he
destroy
passed his
Chaz.
class. He passed the course work. So he's not only was he the triple Lindy, he was the
Oh yeah,
smart. He graduated.
yep. But Chaz was a very evil sports villain, in my opinion, played by the incomparable Billy Zabka, who has a entire list of movie villains that he has played over the years. The quintessential '80s villain kid, for sure.
Isn't
Chaz Osborne, Back to School.
isn't douche? Isn't douche his middle name? Douchebag.
uh, who's up? Terry?
I think I am.
Oh, okay.
Are
Mark,
there other mic'd up shows?
did you
Or
do number
was-
two?
No,
Oh,
I
no.
haven't finished number
Oh,
two. Hold
sorry.
on. Don't
Marty's
get ahead
still
of
gotta
don't get
finish.
ahead of
So
us yet.
sorry. So sorry.
Hold on. Hold on.
Number
Once
two.
again, the professional actor.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
As I look at my
Is
show order,
Surf Nazis Must Die considered a sports movie?
well, there's a lot of surf competitions in there.
Well, there it is. There you go.
Well,
But this is not surfing. This is not football. This is not basketball or. And they came on. They came on to the field or the playing arena, and they were so intimidating. And they were led by their leader, and they, dum, 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 dum,
I know where this is going.
dum. And I don't. I really in the past I looked at this actor and said really didn't care for this actor, but his role in this film as being the head of Robo Gym, um, Dwight Goodman. Um, he every scene in the film until the very end, and I thought it was nice, really well done at the very end. He's in charge of the gym. He was just a bad person. I have to watch myself. In every scene, and especially in the scene with the lady from the other team, where she was trying to do some business with him, and it was a hell of an acting job by Ben Stiller
Yep.
to just be the ultimate jerk uh, in dodgeball. And again, the last scene where he's watching TV, it's all gone. He's lost everything, and he looks like me at the end with the swilling the beer and having the chicken, the bucket of chicken or something. And yeah, I thought Dwight White Goodman was
White
the
Goodman.
character. White
Yeah.
Goodman in dodgeball. So
It's
Right.
the girl that played the banker and then ends up with the other team. That
right.
was actually Ben Stiller's wife.
No, was it really?
Oh
That
yeah,
that was his wife?
when he's hitting on her and she goes, "Oh, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit." Yeah, that's his real life wife.
Wow.
I never knew that. That's pretty.
Oh
That's
yeah.
great. They're professionals, but you have to realize that they have to take part of it home.
Oh
So
yeah.
that discussion that night was pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Well, now I think we finished round two.
All right,
Oh, what other mic'd up shows are there?
Marty, you want to do this, or do you want me
me?
to? Okay, I can if you
Well,
want to just drink your
let's
beer.
split it. I've heard of a few.
Oh, yeah, okay, go.
I want to start with Mr. Darby's show.
Yeah.
It was used to Bears and the Bigs. Mr. Darby, and I say Mr. because it's truly out of respect. This guy, his profession was work for Easton and Mizuno, and was worked with celebrities and sports figures throughout, and tells some fantastic stories of the adventures in working with people. One that got me started was and he's done it a couple of times now. Was talking about with Ricky Henderson, and Ricky Henderson was his own person.
Right.
That's right. Ricky Henderson was a Mizuno guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And almost there was one trip where Ricky was over. I want to say Japan. I think I may be mistaken, where he had to come along because the Japanese didn't understand Ricky E's because
Yeah.
Ricky had his own language. So uh, Jim Darby's is always a highlight when he has another show, and I always listen to that one. Uh, Rick Barry is back. He's done a couple of programs. It is, and again, anybody who's lived in the Bay Area for as long as I have, or been around the Bay Area, or been around professional basketball knows about Rick Barry. Yes, that is the same Rick Barry um, of the Golden State Warriors, and you have to have a little courage to listen to Rick Barry because he's going to tell you the way it is in his mind, and he's not shy about it.
Yeah.
Some things may take you as a little brunt. Some things may take you as a little off-centered, or whatever, however we want to phrase it. But he'll tell you the way it is, and it's always a good listen to the Rick Barry show. He's now involved with a 3-on-3 who that was on TV the other day. It was pretty entertaining. It's a half court 3-on-3 basketball, and he's involved with that. And and so he still has his pulse on the game of basketball, and he'll tell you the way it is. At this point, I'll turn it over to you, Rob. There's some great shows on the app. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a couple others. The Florida Sports Hall of Fame show. John Rieger hosts a show on here, and it's actually quite interesting. It's anybody that either grew up, is from Florida, or played athletics in Florida, either professionally or collegiately, that have made the Hall of Fame in Florida, and they do these great interviews, and they're very good interviewers, and they talk to people, and I found they've spoken with like Wade Boggs and Greg Coleman from the NFL, several NFL guys, as a matter of fact. But some of the shows that I found the most fascinating that they've done is like there's a woman that rode from L.A. to Hawaii, navigating the Pacific on her own. People like that, they're really fascinating to hear these interesting stories. They do a great job of interviewing, so that's a good show to look up. You'll be surprised at what you end up liking from those guys. It's a pretty good show. And then, of course, there's Yankees Coast to Coast. So Mike Miller, who
He's
lives on the west.
got that one queued up. Not our theme song, but he's got that one queued up.
That one works every
Yeah, I'm
time.
not going to miss that one. I mean, I am in the anti-Yankee social club.
Nice shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, we their show. Mike Miller's based on the West Coast, and Adam Snyder's based on the East Coast, and they talk all things Yankees, and it's hilarious to listen to these days because even though the Yankees are 56-38 as of today, the sky is falling every single day. So these guys are circling the drain and crying and yelling about it, and it's quite entertaining to listen to New Yorkers go nuts about their Yankees. because they build themselves up so high to start the year, and then you know what's going to happen every year. So
Well, and these two argue about the same point and agree.
yeah, absolutely. They argue and yell, and they're agreeing. I go figure it out. Anyway,
New
those are a bunch of
Yorkers.
the good shows on Mic'd Up, and then there's also our show. So
Yay!
I think we're the longest contiguously running show now on Mic'd Up, and certainly the number one most viewed. So we got that going for us, which is nice. Uh, so with that all said, should we turn to number one?
Number one.
Number one.
Let's do it.
All right.
And I want to thank you. I'll take it. And I want to
Okay.
thank you guys for not jumping on it because you realize what's behind me here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. The movie is Slapshot,
Yep.
a classic hockey film. And please don't, if it's been around for a long time, and somehow if you are listening to us and haven't seen it, put it at the top of the DVR list because it's a great film. And the funny thing is about Ogie Oglethorpe, the villain.
Ogie.
You don't see him till the last part of the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about him. It's like a modern day Harry Potter. They talk about Voldemort. Oh,
Don't
but
say
you never
that.
see him. Well, Oglethorpe is the same way. So when I so I
Ogle.
got this jersey many years ago. It was a obscure website. I don't think it even exists anymore. So anytime I go to a hockey game, and I don't care if it's here, it's the Bay Area, it's LA, it's anything else, I wear that shirt, and you would not believe the reaction of people
He's beloved.
that respond to that. It's a lot of fun. I had people buying me beers. I had people trying to beat me up. I've had
Ah.
people try.
Well,
So
They
without
wanted-
it,
they
though,
wanted they wanted to drop gloves with you.
yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't because of the jersey.
No. Oh, come on! It's we got to get back for the third period, and you're waiting your freaking time. I mean, come on, get going. You don't know what you want? Get going. Hell, gee. So my number one, without a doubt, Ogie Oglethorpe
Yeah.
from
And-
Slapshot. So
I'm glad you mentioned that
That's
you
a
don't
good
see him till the end of the movie because that's a very Hitchcockian thing to do. Is have
Hitchcock.
talk about the evil, but don't actually show the evil.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Ooh, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and since you just got piqued my interest when saying something like that, then my choice is Terry.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well,
Didn't see that coming.
mine is a villain in every which way in every walk of life. It is a film from 1971, and it is Brian's Song.
Oh yeah.
The villain here is
okay.
cancer.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Just F cancer. It's yeah, yeah. We have way too many friends and family who are suffering from it or have succumbed to it, and that film was very impressive impactful back in 1971.
No, you're wrong. It's very impressive today.
Oh,
Everybody
today
can
it
say it was
holds- it
made. It was
does.
made 40 years ago, and it was kind of tinny the way they made with the modern technologies of films. But it hit the soul of human beings, and it hit the soul of friendship and love and commitment, and that's why it still goes today.
What's-
It hit the heart of people.
Anybody who watched it, there's a funny quote about it. If you don't cry at movies, you haven't seen Brian's Song yet.
Yeah, I've
Right.
heard that there's a variation on that it's there are two kinds of people in the world: people who cried at Brian's Song and people who have not seen Brian's Song.
Yeah, same. Oh, which reminds me. Oh, I've got a new. That reminds me. I have another honorable mention. All right, Robbie,
Yeah,
number
Maybe
one.
we'll make that a topic. movies that it's okay for men to cry at, because
Yeah.
I include
Oh, that's a good one.
Shane,
Oh,
Old Yeller, and Brian's song just
Oh, yeah.
immediately. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
There
all
you
fine.
go. Yeah,
Those are all
yeah.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
All
that's
right,
that. I think we
Robbie.
got. You're onto something.
Number one villains in sports movies,
I
non-baseball.
am going back to Billy Zabka, the actor Billy Zabka. Johnny
And
Lawrence in The Karate Kid.
Oh,
oh,
oh, okay.
Completely buying into the whole Cobra Kai methodology in every form, shape of life. Not only is he a bully, but he's a bully that's a black belt. So,
And his only reason he's got the black belt is to be a bully.
so
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
he's the
the
right.
kid that Sensei told him to sweep the leg. The blonde
yes,
kid. Yes.
yep, the
Yeah,
blonde kid. I mean, he's the kid that they chase Ralph Macchio from the party all the way to that fence and catch him on the fence, and they just beat the living hell out of him.
And
I
then
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
and then Mr. Miyagi. In his dream, the kid couldn't even see, but he sees this ghost beat the
yep, yep,
slap the boys smart.
yep. But he bought into the whole thing that sensei was teaching, and it was wrong to start with. I mean, the sensei was a bad guy, and that was a good call. But
yeah.
Johnny buying into it and then just not understanding where to use it and where not to use it in life, it was he was a bad dude, man.
Yep.
Then, which is interesting because the series Cobra Kai on Netflix, which is actually really well done, it's nostalgic enough to the Karate Kid, and yet it doesn't overdo it. He becomes a sympathetic character as the show evolves. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
quite an interesting turn
Well,
that they've taken with it. But
well,
it's
they had to because the kid could never get a job because he was typecast as a bully.
Anyway, so Johnny Lawrence, played by Billy Zabka, made the list twice for me,
Yeah.
and I think he was in one of those crappy skiing movies too. So he could have been
Crappy.
there 3 times.
Is that a genre?
Any
Yeah,
yeah,
Crappy.
crappy
skiing
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 movies.
movies.
or pompous frat boy, or
Yep.
he's good at all those bully this and that.
Well, I know we got a bunch of honorable mentions between the three of us, and then there's a bunch of calls tonight. So
Great.
let's go to the calls, and then we'll come back for our honorable mentions and final witticisms.
Huh?
Big Juicy.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm going to stick with a theme for mine, and it's going to be ice skating, either hockey or figure skating. And number 5, I'm going to go with Donald, the friend of Shooter McGavin in the movie Happy Gilmore. And the tie-in here is that Happy Gilmore was a frustrated hockey player turns to golf. Number 4, Franz and Fairchild von Waldenberg in Blades of Glory. They're privileged and, as it turns out, incestuous figure skaters. Number 3 coming up.
Yeah.
So if you don't remember Donald in Happy Gilmore, he's the guy that follows Happy Gilmore around and goes, "Yeah, nice shot, you jackass." Keeps calling him a jackass over and over. The recently departed Joe Flaherty played that role. Just I want to show my Second City TV knowledge.
Cheap shot.
Continuing on to number 3 would be the whole team, Team Iceland in the movie D2, The Mighty Ducks. Turns out Disney thinks that folks from Iceland make for the best hockey players, when in fact there are very few of them, if any, in the National Hockey League. But at any rate, they were the evil team in that movie. Number 2 would be the whole Soviet team in the movie Miracle, the story about the
Yeah,
1980
sure,
Olympics.
sure. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Number 1 coming up.
So that D2 the Ducks 2, the baddest of the bad guys from Iceland, his nickname was the dentist because he keeps taking people's teeth out.
And my number 1, and I'd be very surprised if Marty hasn't mentioned this already, that would be Ogie Oglethorpe from the movie Slapshot. And more interesting is the real-life person that this character is based on, Bill Goldie Goldthorpe. Look him up. He was in jail numerous times during his minor pro hockey league career, so much so that his coaches had to periodically get him out of jail with the promise they'd return him after the game.
That is excellent knowledge right there.
Thanks, Big Juicy. Thank you.
All right, let's move on to JC.
JC with number 5. From Tin Cup, David Sims. Setup is at the U.S. Open behind the grandstands. Don Johnson's character has a cigarette going. An older retired couple comes up to him and says, "Can we get your autograph for our grandson?" He says, "What's wrong with you people? Can't you see I'm working here? How about I bother you at your work?"
Let's see what we got here.
JC with continuation. White Goodman from Dodgeball. Number 3, Coach Riley from Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
And number 2 from Slapshot, who else could it be but Ogie Oglethorpe. Great character.
I got a feeling, Marty, you're going to win with Ogie Oglethorpe
I think
tonight.
so too. I was just gonna say there are a lot of people rooting for Ogie.
But this could make JC's number 1 interesting.
Oh.
JC with number 1 from Little Giants. Spike to Becky. Is Spike mistaken? Aren't you a girl? Becky. Gee, good eye. Spike don't play with girls.
Terry's going to clearly have to rent Little Giants now.
I will. I will rent that just for that.
All right, Teddy Bear's up.
Oh, great.
Hey guys, Teddy Bear here. Number 5, John Kreese from The Karate Kid. He's a sweep the leg guy.
Yep.
Number 4, Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T in Rocky 3.
Great.
Number 3, Bud Kilmer, played by John Voight in Varsity Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, for some fun, Judge Smales in Caddyshack. And number 1, Ivan Drago, the Russian guy who killed Apollo Creed in an exhibition. Thanks, guys.
Good picks. Good picks. He missed Ogie, though.
I must break you.
All right, Webby on assignment in San Diego, trying to figure out which Padre uniforms are the ugliest. He still has found time to check in.
Webby here. I believe the consummate sports movie villain is Judge Elihu Smales from Caddyshack. Remember, he never slices. Here's a quarter. Go buy yourself a Fresca.
Oh, good.
Is Fresca still around?
Yeah, you can get Fresca.
Is it? Oh, yeah? Okay.
I think so.
And why would you want to?
Yeah.
Exactly. You have almanac. Why would you want to?
Yeah, this
grapefruit
is
drink.
like lager is better than Fresca.
This is way better than Fresca.
Yeah. So we're all going to drink when Crosstab checks in.
Wow, Crosstab.
My favorite sports villain, non-baseball, is Jean Girard from Talladega Nights. He was a perfect French D-I-C-K.
Crosstab, nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Glad you jumped
That was on
in.
my honorable mention. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want him to hear me say that, but that was a good pick. All right, Hammy, who was with us for the baseball show, covering the baseball villains. Hammy checks in tonight.
Hey guys, Hammy here. Top 5 best villains in non-baseball movies. I'm going to go number 5, John Kreese. He's the guy from Karate Kid, Sweep the Leg. Number 4, Ross the Boss Rea in Goon in 2011. And he tells Doug Glatt, if ever comes a time when it gets down to the marrow and it's you and me, kid, I'll lay you the F out. And I'll follow up with some others here in a minute.
I like where Chuck's going so far. All right, Hammy again.
All right, Hammy again. Number 3, Judge Smales from Caddyshack, played by Ted Knight, and he was perfect for that part. Are you my pal, Danny?
Yeah.
That guy was hilarious. Number 2, I'm going to go with Ivan Drago from Rocky with Dolph Lundgren. I must break you. So I'll follow up here with number 1 in a second.
Number one. Now, this was his number one last week because he forgot it was all baseball. But so he's bringing it back.
Hammy again. My number one is Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore, and here's why.
You're in big trouble, though, pal. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No.
Well, I like that Chuck turned to the multimedia for that. That was good.
Yeah. How come we can't do that? That's a
Yeah,
really
what- you can just hold your phone up to your microphone and make magic happen, I suppose. So that's all our callers.
Thank you, callers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great reply. Thank
Good
you
to
very
hear
much.
from y'all.
Yeah. So what do you got for honorable mentions?
Ernie McCracken.
Ah, you took it. Son of a.
Kingpin.
Yep.
That was filmed here in Reno, believe it or not. Oh well.
At the Bowling Hall of Fame world
The bowling
thing.
hall. Yep. There. Yeah. Wow. And you wonder why I drink. Okay.
Big Earn.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Here's one Shelby Ann will like. It's a fictional movie. It is the game of Quidditch.
Oh God.
Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
He's the Quidditch antagonizer.
Yes. There was an obscure movie. Maybe you realize Eddie Martell.
Oh, Martell from The Replacements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
was
like that. I keep catching myself watching that film. It's
same here.
a good movie.
It's a pretty good stupid movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got enough star power and the characters to keep you there, and it works with us. I mean, the guys that how could you be? We never were, so how could you be a has been? But you get a second shot at it, so you kind of root for the guys that.
If
the
I'm not
replacements.
mistaken, it's where they debuted Under Armour gear.
No shit. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
Wow.
The first time you see the UA Under Armour logo.
Yeah.
Well, if Surf Nazis Must Die is a sports movie, then I mean, obviously Adolf has got to be one of the great sports movie villains of all time, especially when he kills Yang, which is a real tragic scene in the movie when the machete lands in Yang's back and the rubber keeps flopping back and forth.
I can never get past that. I have to just stop.
I know that's like Adolf. Wow.
I can never.
That's just a really bad guy.
What a drama.
Yeah, so undeserved. So undeserved.
What a fantastic, dramatic sports film that was.
It may be one of the great death scenes of all time. Maybe.
Huh. I'll think about that one.
What about Chick Hicks? Chick Hicks from Cars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The green car that will do whatever it takes
Cars.
to win. Bumping on the course and yeah.
Chick Hicks. That wasn't the Porsche, was it? The mint Porsche, colored Porsche? Chick Hicks?
No, that's the actual race.
Oh.
Chick Hicks is the green car. And then I actually had Bob Barker down because he played the opposite of what he's supposed to be. Like he's kind of an asshole in Happy Gilmore. And he kicks the shit out of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Clubber Lang didn't come up more often than it did.
Yeah.
See, that was a really imposing character when it came out. That was really something else.
That was 1982 Rocky III, Clubber Lang, Mr. T.
Uh-huh.
Gave Mickey a heart attack and hit
Right.
on Adrian. Adrian.
Yeah.
Um,
And there was
Yeah,
there was no way that Rocky could come back to take on just a massive force like Clubber Lang. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
nicely
pity the
done.
food.
I couldn't figure out in Breaking Away who. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it
Italy
was.
team was kind of a bunch of
Oh
the
no,
one
it
guy.
was a fraternity. It was a frat
Yeah,
house.
the fraternity guys were pretty
Team.
bad. Yeah,
Those
and
guys
then
were.
the one kid loved the Italian team, idolized him, and they just brushed him off, blew him off. There's several bad.
They put their pump in his spokes and he
Yeah,
flipped over. I mean,
flipped him over. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cutter.
that's one of my
Cutter.
favorite movies ever, and I just couldn't pick who was the biggest villain because they're
We're
just
gonna have
pretty
to
much everybody but the Cutters are bad people in that movie.
We're gonna have to save that for like the greatest comeback movie.
Yeah. Oh, what
Ooh,
an
that's
interesting
a thought.
topic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh
Favorite
yeah.
sports comeback films.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
that's a good-
not
yeah.
actual comebacks, but sport comeback films like that
right.
one.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that because otherwise,
Well, there are millions and millions of.
you guys got any others?
I'm done.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I could make a deep reach, but I'm not going to. So we'll just leave it there for now.
Well, you got any deep reaches?
Well, I would say like, did you ever watch? We're all 49er fans. So I mean, we're based in the Bay Area. Marty grew up in the Bay Area. He's probably a Raider fan more than anything else, but
That's his problem.
yeah, exactly. The rest of us are 49er fans, I think, for the most part. And there is that moment in Brian's song when the 49ers tackle Gale Sayers and break his leg.
Yeah.
And by that point, you are so invested in Gale Sayers that, like, I kind of hate the 49ers for about 3 or 4 seconds. I don't know how you guys feel, but that every time in that scene, like, why did it have to be the Niners? Damn, I hate those guys.
Would you call that a villain?
Well, yeah, see, that's why I didn't bring it up sooner. I waited till this where I could just cop out and play the theme song and get us out of here.
I think you're onto something.
What theme song is that?
Well, before I get to it, I just got to thank Almanac once again. We got to thank Mic'd Up for sponsoring the show and allowing this chaos to continue for nearly a year. And for all the listeners that contribute all the time, you guys are the lifeblood. We appreciate you. And we look forward to coming back at you next week with some other weird, obscure topic that may or may not resonate with you. So hopefully we'll see you again next week for our big show 50. And
Stay tuned and look at what we have coming up next week and join us.
Absolutely.
Call in. It's really great when you call in.
Stop by and visit Almanac. And in the meantime, we'll see you next week. See, that was fluid there.
You did that well this time. It's all right.
Thank you.
Highlights